This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by BJ Flores, former boxer, now head trainer to Jake Paul. BJ, first and foremost, how are you?
I'm good. Just ready for Sunday night, and ready for the first bell.
Obviously, before we do come on Sunday night, just talking about camp preparations. How has this one gone in comparison to the past camps you've spent with Jake?
It's good. Jake's gotten more experience. He's gotten more, obviously a lot more wisdom. His boxing IQ's raised up a lot, and just another couple hundred rounds of 7 or 8 good professionals. It's made him a lot sharper, made him a lot more ready for like an event like this. And Sunday night he's going to show that.
It's no secret that Jake has no prior boxing experience compared to his last 4 fights that he has had, 3 fights going into 4th. Is it a surprise to you, or is there anything in particular that surprised you about how much Jake's taken to it? I think one thing which I will give him a lot of credit for is he seems to commit to the sport as much as what a normal professional would.
No, he's doing everything right. But besides going rounds in fights, which I don't mind if he doesn't go rounds, I don't mind if he does go rounds, but he's doing everything right. He's taken to it well because he's a dedicated kid. He's a hard worker. He's got tremendous work ethic. And obviously, when you get a kid like that who's a good athlete, who's a good puncher, it makes my job very easy. So I'm not surprised at all. He's picked it up very well. He's excited. He's like a shark. Like when he gets in the water, he wants to swim. He wants to attack, and he's fun to train.
Tyron Woodley, the man in the opposite corner, this coming weekend on Sunday night instead of a Saturday, as most of us boxing fans are used to.
Tough to say that, right? Yeah. I'm used to saying Saturday night, and I'm like, oh, Sunday. So yeah.
Just with Tyron, how would you compare him to Jake's previous opponents in the ring?
Oh, he's a lot better. This is by far Jake's toughest opponent. We know that. We respect Tyron. We respect his team, his trainers, Pedro Diaz, Gerald Tucker. Those guys are professional guys. They're good guys. Tyron's trying to put himself in the best position to win this fight, so I respect that. And it's going to be a good matchup. But this fight will be one-sided. And it's nothing against Pedro, nothing against Gerald Tucker. They're great trainers, but this fight will be one-sided for as long as it lasts.
You mentioned there it will be one-sided, and you said at the end for as long as it lasts. Do you believe once again Jake will be victorious via stoppage?
Yeah, I do. And if he doesn't knock him out, then it'll be one-sided for 8 rounds. But I think the knockout will come rounds 3 through 5. I don't care when. I know it'll come. But if it doesn't, like I said, we're happy to win and beat him for the entire 8 rounds. So that could be a more painful way to lose by Tyron, but it's all going to be painful.
We know Jake's very, very good at kind of getting underneath the skin of people, and he's a very good talker. How do you think Tyron's dealt with Jake's antics this week in particular? Do you think he has been affected by anything that Jake's had to say?
I didn't really think he had been affected by anything because Tyron's an OG. He's been around a long time. But yesterday he seemed a little ruffled to me. He seemed a little, he was upset. He was yelling. He was screaming, and those are emotions that you don't really want to experience on fight week. You kind of keep it professional and keep it chill. And I don't know. That's the first time I kind of saw him a little rustled up. And we'll see. I don't take much from it, honestly. Our game plan doesn't change at all. We still are going to fight the same way. We're going to come out the same way. We're going to attack the same way. But it's I just feel like as long as Tyron's been around, he's got to know that he can't really get involved in things like yesterday. But like I said, again, he's been around a long time, so maybe he comes in exactly the same. Either way, I'm expecting the same Tyron.
What did you make of the scuffle we'll go with from yesterday's press conference afterwards when Tyron reacted to one of your members of the team? I could only see it from the back, so I'm not quite sure what happened myself.
He just got mad. He was yelling at J. Leon Love about not having his mom's back. So I don't even really know. I don't get into the drama. I don't get into like what was said, he said, she said. I don't really know. Like I said, I got a fight to get ready for on Sunday, so I don't really pay attention to who said what or how it worked out. I'm going to make sure Jake's ready Sunday. One
thing, I know you don't want to look beyond Sunday, but a lot of people now are keen to see Jake in with an actual boxer, somebody who's committed a bit more time to the sport. Is that the next step in your eyes?
We'll see. We got Tommy Fury on the undercard. He's a guy who's definitely got a massive name. He's got a little bit of credibility. He's 6-0, but Tommy's never headlined a pay-per-view event. Tommy's never been a main event ever. Tommy's never sold pay-per-views. So as far as like what he brings to the table, the business side, there's a lot to be seen with Tommy. But as far as talent, as far as a tough kid, and I like how he talks, and I like how he kind of conducts himself. I like that. I think he's good for the sport. He's got a big name, obviously, good-looking kid. So I hope he does well. I wish him well. But business-wise, there's still a lot to be seen.
Jake was asked about that potential fight yesterday, and he said he's looking beyond Tyron because he's looking towards what's in the future, what's down the line, what's up next for future for him. And he said, he pointed behind himself. He said, "Tommy's behind me. He's on the show. He's there to be taken effectively." When you compare it to when you used to fight, did you have that same mentality of looking beyond your opponents?
No. And Jake might have said that yesterday, but we're very focused on Tyron. Jake's a showman. Jake will say that, but he's not. We're very focused on Tyron. We're only thinking about round one. We're not worried about anybody next because if we don't handle our business, then there is no next fight. So I refuse to talk about anybody next. Jake's got a massive task in front of him with Tyron, but my only request is after he beats Tyron, give him his credit.
Just a couple more final things from me. Obviously, we was touched on in the round table there. He had a long hit list of potential names, certainly more established fighters in the boxing world, the likes of Canelo, Gervonta Davis, amongst others. As somebody who's committed as much time to the sport as what you have and achieved a great deal, what did you make of seeing those comments from Jake?
Obviously, whenever you come into a sport, you want to face the best in your sport. You want to fight the best guys in the division, so you can't really fault them for that. But, we got work to do. We got to worry about Tyron first, and we'll worry about who's next on that list.
And final thing, Jake also said that, our fathers, our grandfathers, they looked up to the likes of Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali and what have you. He believes he can be to this next generation of youngsters coming through what those guys were to us or to our fathers, like we say. Do you agree with that sentiment and them comments?
He could be, yeah. I mean, Jake doesn't have the Olympic gold medal like Muhammad Ali had. He doesn't have the amateur background, but times are changing. Kids have access to computers. Kids have access to pay-per-views. Kids have access to streaming, things online. And Jake will be a role model, with his Boxing Bullies platform, putting boxing gloves on kids all over the world. We've done one event in Puerto Rico. We're going to do more events in Cleveland, in cities all over the country, all over the world. We're going to have a platform putting boxing gloves on kids. And I feel like, to say he's going to be in the same category as Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, I don't know. That remains to be seen. But to influence millions of kids all over the world, I feel like that's a definite yes. And Jake's doing the things right now to make sure he's a positive influence for those kids instead of a negative, and making sure that kids understand and the awareness and bullying is raised. Like, it's not cool to bully people. It's not cool to take advantage of someone in a bad situation. Lift those people up. Help those people. I mean, you don't get ahead doing that. Life is about bringing people up, not pushing people down, and Jake's trying to spread that message.
BJ, just a final message from everyone, not just back in the UK where I'm from, but of course across the States and worldwide. Why should everybody tune in on Sunday night to watch Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley?
Yeah, whether you see Jake, whether you want to see Jake win, whether you want to see him lose, it's going to be a good fight. Jake is very explosive. Tyron's very explosive. The fight will end in a knockout. So if you want to see Jake lose, sorry, but tune in. If you want to see him win, tune in. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you, BJ.
Yep. Thanks, guys.